Get this question a lot. Should I buy the pre-tabbed and highlighted books? Well, you know, if you bought books at one of the other exam schools, they probably gave you a pretty hard sell on the pre-tabbed and highlighted books. And there's nothing really wrong with the pre-tabbed and highlighted books, except for, well, they're going to cost you some money. It's really a revenue source for the people that sell the books. What I say is save your money. All right. Many of my students have agreed with me. Okay. I have this conversation a lot. Okay, that the pre-tabbed manuals are over-tabbed. One student described them recently as annoying. Okay. 75% of the answers to the test questions, what we call lookup questions, okay, can be found by using the index. You just go to the index. Instead of searching through your tabs, you know where the index is. Just go to the index, look up the key concept in the index, and then, it'll get you there more than likely 75% of the time. In my videos, and I take you through just about every single manual, page by page, and I tell you what to tab, what to highlight. In my videos, I explain what should be highlighted and tabbed. There is not a large amount of tabbing that is required. And if you do your own tabbing and your own highlighting, you are going to be much more likely to remember this information. Okay. So it's a little bit more work. First of all, if you're listening to the video and you got your book in front of you, it's not really any more work to do the highlighting yourself. As far as the tabbing, sure, you might have to stop the video and, take a second or two and put the tab on there and you write what the concept is, but that's going to help you remember that information, and it's a little bit more work, just a tad bit more work. But hey, if you're getting your contractor's license, you're not afraid of just a little bit of work, especially if it's going to save you time in the long run by only taking this exam one time. Okay. I've been analyzing these exams for years. So I am familiar with what can be found easily by using the index versus what needs to be tabbed. Okay, so I've got a couple of examples for you. For instance, you may get a question when you go to a dinner party at some point. They may ask you, how many days' notice does an employer have to give the employees between implementing a drug testing program and the actual testing? Well, guess what? That is not easy to find in the index. Okay, so I tell you to tab it. All right, it is 60 days. All right, and it's something you can probably remember, but put a tab on it, and you write it down yourself, and you'll be much more likely, once again, to remember it. Now, sometimes I'll tell you to tab a section. All right, for instance, state unemployment tax. There is a 30-page section, which is 3 different publications in the back of chapter 5, which discuss state unemployment tax. That's about the only place you're going to find state unemployment. So I go ahead, I tell you, put a tab on that one. Okay, put a tab on that section. All right. Or the Circular E. The Circular E is your employer's guide to federal taxes. How much taxes, how much Social Security, how much Medicare you got to take out. What do you do once you take it out? How do you send it? And so on and so forth. All that information is in the Circular E generally. And so I tell you to tab that. So if you get a question about federal taxes, there's probably 80, 90% chance it's in the Circular E. So I tell you to tab that. That is the first thing that I tabbed when I was taking the exam for the first time back around 2005. Okay, now here's another one. Goodwill is what type of an asset? All right. Well, if you look up in the contractor's manual, goodwill, boom, it's right there. It sends you to the page, to the right page number, and there's no reason to have a tab on that. It's just going to be more tabs that you're going to have to wade through when you're actually taking the exam. Okay, so I have an Amazon link for blank permanent tabs. All you have to do is just contact me, and I'll send you that link. You know how Amazon is. It'll be here this afternoon. If you have any pre-tabbed books, so that's okay. So you pay for the pre-tabbed books, or you bought a used secondhand set, or you rented them, and you've got pre-tabbed books. That's fine. It's not going to hurt you so much. But if you haven't bought them yet, okay, just save your money. All right. So here's how you reach me. You can phone or text me at 904-755-4111. My email is jacktheexamguy@gmail.com. and my website is jacktheexamguy.com. You can reach me by any of those methods. This is my cell phone, and I do my best to answer the cell phone. So I want to thank you for listening to this video. I want to thank you for your time. I want you to contact me if you have any questions at all about the exam process. That's what I specialize in. And don't ever let anybody tell you you don't know Jack, because now you do. Thanks for listening.